Hello, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful and green trading week. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it here with the dollar weekly time frame view. As usual, you can see here we did in fact meet the lower target last week here, and then we did get a nice stronger than expected bounce up into the 97s, hitting a high of around that 97.30 area, and looking like we're pulling back a little bit. Now, what I see happening here is a little bit more weakness in the near term, followed by some chopping action with basically a range bound action for now until we break below that 96 90 area, and then we'll start looking at another push to the downside. But for now, basically looking at near that 97 level that breaks, then we'll be looking at that push, like I said earlier, to that 96.80 area. We'll see some chopping action in here, and then look for a break below that 96.80 level to open up the door again back into the 96 level. So again, we'll be chopping around a little bit here in this vicinity. Could possibly revisit the 97.20s again. Can't rule it out, but as far as sustained upside push from here, I really don't see too much at this time for a further push above the 97.20 area. 97.30 was basically where we topped out at, and then we saw that selling pressure kicking in again to sub 97.20. So again, looking for 97 to be retested again. Probably see a break below that to down to like I said around 96.90, 88 or so area, and then we'll see what happens from there. If we get another push off that level, then we'll be retesting at 97 up to 97.20, and we'll see if we can break through that or not. Again, within this area, it does get a little bit choppy, as right now we're basically between the weekly, and it's not on this chart, but the 50 period moving averages around that 97.30 area, and below we have the 200 on the weekly around the 96 level. So we're kind of chopping in this general range, which I expected, but in the near term, again, looking for a retest of that 96.90 level. Here's a look at gold futures weekly time frame view. We did in fact get that strong push up into the 1600 area. That's on the back of course, as everybody knows, what we saw with the Iran situation. Now, right now, what I'm seeing here, based on where we closed on Friday, basically at that 1565 level. Obviously, the candle is red and showing you that there is quite a bit of selling still taking place in this vicinity. So just given what I'm seeing with the dollar yen, and if the tensions continue to de-escalate with Iran, obviously they just admitted that they did inadvertently shoot down the aircraft. We'll see what kind of backlash they get from that and what the markets interpret as far as the overall escalation mood, if you will. So that all being said, I do think that we do see a 1565 resistance. We should see this hold, I would think, and then we kind of just push on back to kind of consolidate near the 1520 area. So when you're looking at the lower level view here, daily time frame, as you can see, we kind of bounced off that 78.6 fib level here that I have, and what I'm expecting to see here is again another push to that downside off that resistance here around that 1565 level, 1566, back down, and probably looking at consolidation around that 1520 to 1515 level. We do have a little bit of support at this area right in here, and it would be good. Obviously, this move happened very, very quickly, and as we do see tensions kind of calm down a little bit, we should see gold prices kind of come back down, consolidate in this general range here, and then we'll see if we can continue to see upside push later on down the line. But for right now, I think that the near term peak is in, and 1565, 1566 should hold. Looking for a pullback down to around that 1520 level. Could go as low as 1512 or so, and then start consolidating pretty well here, and then we'll start bubbling back up into those 1540s, 1550s as we head out into the future. But for right now, I think that the top is in for that. So let's move along here, looking at natural gas as usual. This one is obviously in kind of an indecisive location. Sorry about that. I had to remove the pet from the room. Just got a little loud with some outside animals, so apologies for that little interruption. As far as natural gas, as I was saying here, she's kind of in the middle of a few different situations here. As I said, that I believe last week, 218 was the level that was holding up pretty well as resistance, and I'm still looking for the retest of those 203s. The fact we're kind of meandering down here is kind of off-putting, and I would say if you're looking to trade this, be very, very careful, of course, as usual, but more so just given this overall look. It's possible that she could, just pull back. And the reason why I say that is if you look at your 4 hour time frame view, basically what we've been seeing is price just kind of meandering within a range generally. So we've been seeing most of the price action at this lower end of the spectrum. So basically, uh, between here and that 2.18 level, with a little bit of action in between here. Most of it happening between the 216 down to around the 211 and a half, let's say, and then we had that squeeze take place up in here, and then a little bit more action followed. But already you can start to see that the price is starting to pull back. So I'd look for a retest of 218. If she holds the 218s, then it's possible again another 222 to 223 retest with possible further upside push from there to around a 227 level. But again, I'd wait for that back test of the 218s. Could possibly break back down within the general range here, and then look for support around that 211.5, 211.7 area. She holds that, then obviously she'll be continuing to trade within this given range. Otherwise, she breaks to the downside, then the magical 2.03 up comes very quickly. And then beyond that, you got to be very careful because they might end up just taking it even lower than that. And the reason why I say that, just to kind of show you what I'm seeing, again, there's a lot of what ifs with this situation here, just given where it's at. The monthly view, again, we saw a very strong move to the upside and then very strong reversal here. So we're kind of chopping around in this area pretty well. The 203 retest would be ideal and should be happening soon. I do think that it'll come. My question is, do they do a fake break to maybe the 195 level and then yank it back up above that 203 into the 215, 216 area again? That's likely to occur. So be very, very careful with that. And lastly, looking at crude oil, same type of a story here. Very, very dangerous and erratic price action. Again, with what we saw with Iran, that whole situation kind of came out of left field. So it got the market very excited, a lot of short squeeze action, and then some bearish reversal took place. Now, I did say last week, we're looking for price action to try to hold that 63.70 level roughly, and then we can take a shot up into those 66s to 66.50. She couldn't hold, and obviously continued to break to the downside here, and even broke below that 60 level down to near the 59.70, tried to hold there and started grinding lower towards the last few days of the week. So again, to kind of bring it down to the daily time frame, you can see it pretty clearly here. Very strong move up and then a failure reversal, and then again grinding to the downside here. So I'm looking for possibly a 57.50, 57.60 area retest before we do see another attempt to push to the upside here. Now, clearly, if we get any type of further escalation in tension with Iran, then we'll be seeing another shot up above the 60-30 level up into the 61 to 62s, if not even higher. Depends on what happens, really. Of course, that'll be solely news driven, but as far as what I'm seeing with the overall pullback in this movement, you can see that we should be grinding back down to around that 50 760, 5770 area, and from there we should see a little bit of a push back to the upside. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it notated as such, and then we'll see if that comes to fruition for next week as well. So long story short, be very careful. There's a lot of different ways that this could all play out. Specifically with the whole Iran situation, it's a big wild card in this whole equation. So just be very careful, trade accordingly, watch for your key levels, and just be more, I would say, patient for key levels to be touched rather than jumping in preemptively, to try to catch a move. For example, waiting for that 57.70 probably be better, because it's just basically being choppy now. And the main reason I'm saying this is, again, if you look at your 4 hour time frame view, you can see that we've just been kind of trying to put in the bottom and then just drifting to the downside. So I would say be more patient, let the Sunday night action play out, and then just kind of see how things progress once the key levels are met. So just like with anything else, just wait, be patient, get in where the probabilities make sense, where your risk reward makes sense, and then go from there. That all being said, I hope you all have a wonderful and green trading week. Be careful out there. There's a lot that can happen here. I do think that things should be calming down a little bit, and once they settle up, then we'll have a better idea of where to go and how to play at those times. So I wish you all a wonderful and green trading week again. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can either comment below or shoot me an email, thetradersperspective@gmail.com.